friends, how are you today? If you don't remember, I read you a story, or Mrs. Cardis read you a story as well, about Goldilocks. Goldilocks goes into somebody's house, Three Bears' house. I want you to think about the differences between this book that we have read, including the video that we sent you of somebody else reading the book, and what we're going to read today. I can tell right now that the story is going to be a little bit different already because of the title. The title is on the front cover of the book. It's called Goldilocks, but I don't see Goldilocks on the front cover. And just one bear. This story is written by Lee Hutchinson. Now, if you recall about this book was retold by the author. But this one is a traditional book to go along with the fairy tale. But this one is a little bit different because the person who wrote it changes it a lot. Once upon a time, there was this bear. One minute he was strolling in the woods, all happy-go-lucky, and next minute he didn't have a crumb of a clue where he was at. He was one completely lost bear. If you remember the story that we read about Goldilocks and the Three Bears before, Goldilocks was wandering in the woods because that's where the bears lived, right? But now Goldilocks is somewhere totally different. Think about where you think he is at. It looks like the city to me. I see signs. Wrong way, this way. No, this way actually. And I see a garbage can. He's definitely not in the woods anymore. He's in a city. I want you to look at this page before I read it for a minute. And I want you to think about the bear. And the bear that's walking in the city. I see cars. Above the cars it says, honk, honk. It looks like a pretty busy place. If you've never been to a city before, we use one of our senses when we say noisy. Which one of those senses do you think I'm thinking about? If it's noisy, I'm using my senses with my ears, right? The bear didn't much like this place. Too many bright lights and not enough twigs. Too much loud honking and beeping and not nearly enough owls hooting. But he was in the city. The bear was also a teeny bit scared, and his furry legs were slightly wobbly. I wonder what wobbly means. Could you stand up and show me that your legs are wobbly? That means they're not just standing there. They're wobbly, like bendy and, not sturdy. Maybe the thing to do, said the bear, looking around, is to pop into Snooty Towers and get away with this terrible racket. Racket is another name for loud. I don't think he liked it very much. He was used to living in the woods, remember? But the revolving door of Snooty Towers made this bear dizzy. He He was going around and around. Have you ever been in one of those doors that go around and around? They just don't open like this. They go around and around and around. And being dizzy with wobbling legs was bad news. What the bear needed was a little rest. A little rest somewhere would definitely make things right. Look at, he's going up, 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 up. That's a pretty tall building, because in cities, you see tall buildings everywhere. Not only is it noisy, but you see with your eyes very tall buildings. The bear peeked through the door and through how very pleasant it was up there, and thought how very pleasant it was up there. Not nasty and not noisy like down there, said the bear. Just the place for a little rest. All that whooshing, traveling was certainly a hungry business. So before his little rest, a little porridge seemed like a good idea. Porridge. He's in somebody else's house. Just like Goldilocks was in Bear's house. Well, he was hungry, and he was eating porridge. I wonder what he says about the first bowl, and the second bowl, and the third bowl. This porridge is too soggy. This porridge is too crunchy. This porridge is a bit on the dry side, but it is better than nothing at all. Now the bear was ready for a little rest. He tried 3 different things. One too soggy, one was crunchy, one was too dry. It wasn't just right like in the other book, but he still ate it because he must have been really hungry. Remember, he went to take a little rest? In the other stories, he took a rest in a chair. Do those look like chairs? I wonder what he says about this. Look at the picture. What does he say about this? And I see this word right here. Just. I wonder what those words say. This chair is too ouchy. This chair is too noisy. Can you see what he's sitting on? This chair is just right. Looks like a beanbag to me. A little rest is nice, but what the bear needed to really like himself again was a good old-fashioned nap in a comfy bed. Chair wasn't cutting that little nap. So there he is. He's looking for a bed. What do you think he's saying here? What do you think he's saying here? I still see the same word, just. This bed is too frothy. This bed is too pink. And this bed is just right. What great timing for my lights to go off. I will keep them off because the bear's trying to sleep in the bed that is just right. As soon as he nodded off, the bears dreamed of crunching through the leaves. The bear dreamed of puttering around in his slippers. The bear dreamed of a voice shouting very, very loudly. I wonder if he was really dreaming those things that somebody was shouting. Can you share with somebody? What do you think? Somebody has been eating from my fishbowl. Somebody has been eating my dear little pumpkin kitten nibbles. And, said the mommy person, and somebody's been eating my toast, said the little person. Unfortunately, the bear was not dreaming at all. He was wide awake and back in real life again. So the family came home. These three people aren't bears. Look closer to this person right here. Who does this person remind you of? Well, we talked about this book and Goldilocks having goldish colored hair. I wonder who that might be. Somebody squished my cactus, said the daddy person. Somebody has upset my dear little pumpkin, said the mommy person. And somebody has packed my brand new beanbag, said the little person. Somebody has been sleeping in my bath, said the daddy person. Somebody has been sleeping in my bed, said the mommy person. Shh, whispered the little person. I think that somebody is sleeping in my bed right now. The bear peeked from under the covers to see a daddy person, a mommy person, and a little person standing right there. The bear thought the mommy person looked ever so slightly familiar. And the mommy person thought that, mommy person, this is her speech bubble. Look at what she is thinking. She is thinking gobbling other people's breakfast, breaking other people's stuff, and snoozing in somebody's bed seemed very similar. And it was. They weren't really scared. Goldilocks was thinking, why is this so familiar? Did you notice that the mommy person has the same colored hair? Who do you think that is? I think you're right. It is Goldilocks. This is Goldilocks when she was little. I wonder if this is Baby Bear. You ready to find out? Baby Bear, said the mommy person. Goldilocks, said the bear. That they haven't seen each other in ages. Porridge? asked Goldilocks. The bear nodded. So Goldilocks cooked up a big bowl and plunked it in front of him. It was not too hot. It was not too cold. And it was just right. It made the bear almost forget about once upon a time when Goldilocks had behaved so badly. This little bear would never dream of doing anything like that. And although it had been good to see Goldilocks living so happily ever after with those charming people, the bear decided it was time to go back home into the woods. I don't think the bear liked the city very much. He got scared and nervous over it. I kind of like that twist on Goldilocks. This is what I remember when I was little, like you guys. Goldilocks going into the house, the three little bears leaving, and the porridge. I remember the chairs. I remember the beds. Now this one is very similar to that, except for the bear goes into Goldilocks' house. Okay? So he tries the porridge, sits in the chairs, and sits in the bed, right? But it's at the same time, it's totally different. Because this is Baby Bear from this story. Isn't that cool? Maybe you can find something else online to watch and see if there's some different versions of these. YouTube is great for those things. It would be fun, wouldn't it? Have a great day.